In this video, I'm going to show you 6 tips that I would give to cutting edge painting to help them get more visibility online, get found by more local customers, but also one major missed opportunity that you could capitalize on if you took their strategy and executed on it just a little bit better. So with that, let's jump right into it. This is part of a small mini series where we're looking at local Albuquerque painting companies, looking at their online presence, showcasing the opportunities, the things that are being done well, and everything in between so that you can learn, you can implement, and you can start taking market share for your painting business. Let's jump right into it. All right. So the first things first, we do a little search for cutting edge painting. And we notice that everything over here it's good. You can easily find the business. It's everything on the search is for them. You would have problems if there was another company popping up somewhere else in the country for cutting edge. So they've done some things right to make sure that they're only getting seen here. Now, for the reviews, 117 reviews is great. However, there's not very many reviews recently. And so Google's looking at review velocity as a thing to make sure that they're putting the best businesses forward in front and center. So I would encourage some kind of automation or a way to get more of these. I would also encourage them to respond to the reviews. It's been, looks like over a year since they're responding to the reviews. These are all things that Google looks at to make a recommendation to the searcher. The other thing that's a missed opportunity here, this isn't the big one, I'm putting the big one here at the end, so stay with me, is they're not taking advantage of the products section that is now available for painting businesses. I shared this in another one of Mike's Quality Painting and Desert Winds. They are using the product section, but it's an opportunity that's been underutilized. So maybe go check out those videos and you can see more of what I'm talking about. But you want to make this whole thing more interactive and fill out as much as possible. And so that's not being done, and it's a missed opportunity. Let's look over here at the website. The website, the number one thing that they've done well versus other painting companies I've been looking at is the phone number is front and center. It's easy to find, both here on the desktop version and the mobile version. The one thing that I don't like, and this is another thing that I would improve that would help get more conversions as well, is nowhere is there an easy way to request an estimate without clicking and then going over to the contact page. So it's making the user have to at least click once or twice to go be able to do that. But there should be something front and center for them to take action directly on the page that they're viewing. So that's something that you might not think is a big deal, but it really is. You also look through the page and there's just not very many opportunities for a user to request an estimate. Right? It's just nowhere to be found, right? So big opportunity there. The last 3 changes that I would recommend are around the pages themselves. So if we look here, like, residential painting, for example, there's just not a lot of info. Okay, Google hates this. The user wants to see a lot more information. It's just pretty, what we would call thin in my industry. There's just not much to it. And it's also not granular enough. So we have both interior painting and exterior painting on one page. I'd like to see it on 2 different pages, and so do the search engines. So a little bit more thought going into which pages are built out and have content added to them, and being more specific and dialing in, what are the types of jobs that we want to get? What are the types of services that we offer? Breaking those into individual pages can really help boost the visibility of a business like this. The other thing is the URL structure. There's all this extra stuff that's getting put in here, different categories for the different pages, and without getting too geeky on you, it's just totally unnecessary, and it's burying the pages too many layers deep for Google and other search engines to really care about. So I would rethink the URL structure on here, and when you do that, it's just going to make it easier for Google to understand what's really here, and we all know that clarity breeds success, so let's just leave it at that. All right, the last thing here is the service areas. So this is a strategy that's been deployed for years effectively in many different industries, is building pages that target different cities around your service area. The problem is that there's so much other stuff done on this website that's not being executed well that none of these pages are going to actually show up in a search. Like, I guarantee you, if we look through it and we go deep, these pages that are built for Placitas and Estancia and this and that, they will never get found by Google search because the rest of the website needs more attention. I would also be willing to bet that if you looked at this page versus another, it's almost all exactly the same content. and it could be spun, it could be AI written, which is not a bad thing, but again, like the more unique, the more tailored it is to an area, the better it's going to perform. The other thing is there's no design elements here. It's just a big wall of text. So for the user experience, it's just not great. So even if the page did show up in a search, it's just not going to convert when people get here. Look, there's no opportunities, no calls to action to request an estimate. All right. Now, the one big opportunity that I've been telling you about, okay, this is a great idea, poor execution. So check this out. So under their recent projects, this is like their blog. You can see an interior painting project in North Valley neighborhood, a residential door staining project in Rio Rancho, commercial exterior in Rio Rancho. So this is genius, because I shared about this in other videos as part of this series, but if you can create blog posts that are like this, that have great photos, so there's photos here, some before and after would be really nice, but having more information about the actual job, tagging it specifically to which North Valley neighborhood that it's in, you can create some hyper-localized content that Google and other search engines really love. And so somebody in that area that is looking for your services, if there's a blog post about it, it's really specific, and they see that, and they see that you've done work in their area, the chances of them reaching out for an estimate are pretty high if they like what they see on the post. The problem with this execution is there's just not enough information. So you want to see like at least 300 to 500 words on here that talk about why the customer called, the scope of what you were doing, maybe how long it took. I mean, if you even put some pricing information in there, like a range, this is content that Google and other search engines are loving right now and would give you a huge leg up. So if you're cutting edge painting, you're seeing this, big opportunity for you. If you are the competition, this is your opportunity to do something that none of the other painting companies are doing here or doing well. And so with that, I appreciate you for watching this video. If you check out the description or the comments below this video, I'm going to put some resources here for you to reach out. If you need some help implementing this stuff for your business, you can schedule a call with me. You can also check out the other videos that are on our website and on YouTube. I'm going to put all that in the description in the comments below. So just reach out if you got questions. We'd be happy to help. And I appreciate you watching this video. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.